Hi everyone, I'm Melody. Have you ever wondered to yourself while playing Star Rail, this 5-star isn't even that big of an upgrade? Or, why would I pull this character if I already have this character who does something similar? In this video, I really want to go over the little tricks this game uses to bait you into pulling new characters subtly. I want to compare character kits with their time of release, as well as the meta and the enemies you would expect for each release as well. But before we get into the video, comment below if there's a character you pulled who felt like they had their spotlight stolen by another. Now, let's get into it! With the constant conversation of power creep and HP inflation, it's really important to try and understand how Hoyoverse designs their characters. We all well know that this game has been very stingy with 4-star characters, and we also know that it equally likes to give us really good free options from time to time, usually with some hidden incentive. First, let's go over a recent Hoyo strategy that tricks you into getting characters. Pinaconi was the start of this trend, and it's only continuing now. Essentially, they give you a freebie character, and that character is really good. But only with the limited 5-star they want you to pull. It's this illusion that you're saving time, saving money, that they want you to see and cave into pulling. Let's take Firefly. You get Harmony Trailblazer for free, an amazing character who enables an entire meta on her own. Who is she best with? Firefly, of course. But who is on Firefly's banner? Gallagher, a 4-star sustain who is also perfect for the team. Well, you pull for Firefly, but oh, she's running with Run May. That's her second best teammate. Might as well pull her too. I'm sure tons of people fell into that trap, seeing how they thought they were saving money. But this was all a very thought out plan in making many pull when they might have never even pulled for either. How about another example? Hunt March. She's free, and it's absolutely intentional in the way that she was designed to encourage you to pull for Feisha. You'd think, oh, well I already have a good teammate for her, so I'll be set if I got Feisha. That's exactly what they want you to think. Their goal is to create an environment where you feel like you're saving resources when you're actually likely not. Last example, Remembrance Trailblazer. She exists solely to make you feel less afraid to pull the new Remembrance characters. But she's a bit more evil than that. She's purposely so good to tempt you to switch off of Harmony Trailblazer. Why? Well, now you suddenly have much more incentive to pull Fugue. Somewhere along the way, Hoyo's design process when it came to free characters really shifted. The game first started with every free character kind of sucking and doing the bare minimum, but eventually they realized that it's financially smarter to give us good freebies and make them specifically work well with the characters they want you to pull. I think too many people all banked on Jingliu, and at a certain point, Hoyoverse really wanted everyone who invested in her to hop off and board the new DPS. This was a good way to do that. But what pushes us further? The way they structured the game around each meta said characters are for. If you don't have a Super Break team right now, chances are you've likely been struggling on multiple in-game modes. And now, we're entering the Remembrance and Erudition meta, where more actions and more target range is being rewarded. Now you really want to pull for that new character, right? They sure want you to. Now that we have that out the way, let's now get to why some characters may feel like minor upgrades to 4 stars or other 5 stars. This has happened many times in the game thus far, and it's only going to continue to happen. Let's get out the way the most notorious example that everyone would be familiar with currently. Everyone ran Gallagher for Super Break, literally everyone. Hoyo somehow created a 4-star with the value of a 5-star, at least if you had his Eidolons, which were easier to obtain than a lot of other characters. I think they realized they messed up and suddenly made Lyncha on a whim, because seriously, does it feel like she's a character who exists purely to be a 5-star Gallagher? She's barely relevant in the story and screams to me a character made to sell first. I don't like this frequent choice with banners, but that's beside the point. Many claim that Lyncha was only a minor upgrade to Gallagher, and that you really had no reason to pull her. That's sorta true. At E0, her base kit is generally only a side grade to Gallagher. She's SP costly in exchange for emergency healing and better debuff cleanse, and she has even more AoE than Gallagher. But even her light cone can work on him just fine. Here's what happened with this though. After Lyncha came out, in-game content very quickly started to shove out crowd control and debuffs far more. This is not a coincidence, as they know Gallagher can't cleanse well, only one character at a time with his skill. Then, they catered enemies to need AoE, which Gallagher can only provide with his ult. So how did they design Lyncha beyond that? I mean, even despite that, you can definitely still pull off content with Gallagher, you just might need RNG to be in your favor. Lyncha is essentially Lyncha and Gallagher put into one. She scales off of attack, has emergency cleanse, passive cleanse, and amazing personal damage that happens to be aligned with Super Break. If you had Lyncha, suddenly she looks good for you because she's just outright better. If you had Gallagher, the true thing Hoyo's relying on is for you to see her vertical investment potential. Gallagher is already at his peak. You can't scale him further past E6, and his E6 is the equivalent to E0 for a 5-star. Lyncha can, however, continue to grow as you play and as she reruns, which means it incentivizes you to pull even more for true higher ceilings. Her E1 is pretty ridiculous, and you can really tell it's bait they want you to go for, just to rub in your poor little Gallagher more. This is truly how Hoyo decides to design characters that otherwise may seem like minor upgrades. Unfortunately, one of my favorite characters falls into this trap. Huwa is frankly a bait character in the way she's designed. When she came out, we had many healers that already did the job plenty well. She felt underwhelming. A 5-star for this? We already have good healing and even cleansing. But notice how suddenly her cleansing is passive while others have to actually use skills or ults to enable it? Notice how she's suddenly giving you attack percent and energy despite being a healer? Yes, they simply made her do what Lyncha and all the 4-star healers did, but better, while also providing support. At that time, it was up to many players to consider replacing their Lyncha or Lynx, and I'm sure they felt the same way as with Lyncha. But ding ding, where's that bait? Huwa's E1. Huwa's main problem is being SP neutral. It's very inconvenient for most teams, whereas at least Lyncha is SP friendly. What if we simply fix that problem in an Eidolon, and give you a good speed buff for the team? Wawa is one of the only characters who can still provide a speed buff to the team, so having her E1 effectively makes your team so much easier to build around breakpoints. And here we have yet another recent example, Fugue. Fugue is a side grade to Harmony Trailblazer, not an upgrade, and yet it's her Eidolons that scale her further, that can push someone to truly replace their other character. Eidolons in this game have been designed a lot recently to expect you to continue vertically investing, some characters even outright feeling incomplete without them. Jade without her E1 is an entirely different character, and I often feel like it's a bit unfair. This game is going to make it a goal to try and make you pull for something. You like Clara? Have Yunli, she's better. Oh, but you want to keep Clara? Here, have Yunli's fancy new light cone, now she works again. Expect characters to be replaced with better ones in the same niche consistently, and expect that most seem like a minor upgrade at first, but do not ever underestimate them. Statistically throughout this game, not a single time that has been questioned was it right. Because again, they will always structure the content around it too. The devs know the weaknesses of the older characters and free characters. Do you really think they aren't going to try and exploit them while boosting the new ones? Even bosses with certain elements have been designed to be bad for some characters who might even share that element, just to incentivize the specific character they want you to have there. But that's about it. I just wanted to discuss this really. It's been on my mind and I figured I'd make a video to let people be more aware if they aren't already. Don't be a fool. Don't be a slave. You should always save for your favorites and be smart about your savings. Don't fall into the traps this game wants you to. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Any support means everything to me and allows me to keep doing this stuff. And with that, I bid you adieu, my notes.
Or else you will die.